Alright guys, so welcome back to the Imaxit YouTube channel. I'm your host JD. If you're new, please do smash that like button, share, and definitely subscribe. And if you're a member of the channel, keep on doing that great work by sharing the contents far and wide. So obviously you saw by the title, we're going to be doing our Reggae Boys abroad and also ask some questions on a problematic situation that we ask. We had to ask a question the other day, so we would love to hear the ideas from a lot of persons. So I could note it down to see if some of these persons have any good ideas, because they've always said that they had the best ideas. So we're going to test it today. All right, we saw that Mr. Chris Smith already checking. Massive respect, Chris Smith. So let me start with Concacaf. Concacaf rated the Reggae Boys highly. So let me start right there in terms of the rating, and then we can continue. All right, so Concacaf rated the Reggae Boys very much highly. We did two things. We had two polls. We had one with the best players overall in the region. And in that poll, we had Echan Pinnock on it. He was the only one made that one in the defensive department, but not necessarily anyone else in the team. That's kind of tough, but at the end of the day, totally understood it, because in the midfield area, you had most Americans, not even Mexicans made it the last time. So you clearly understood where you're coming from. Big up yourself, Bessas. Massive respect. Yeah, man. Thanks very much for being here. Yes. So in this one now, which was definitely down to performances, it was a little bit different. Because as you can see here, the CONCACAF selected Bobby Reed in the best 11 for the CONCACAF Nations League. But this is definitely for this window, you know. So what say you? You think that he deserved to be there, and anyone else that you looked at their performances and said that, okay, that man was snubbed. What say you? Let me know. All right. Yes. So we are going to go through the players. So the players in goal, Yanis from Martinique. If you watch Martinique took on Costa Rica, and believe me, he had a super game, one of the best games I saw from a goalkeeper in the actual window. So I have no problem with that individual being as the head of the goalkeeping department. Aston Trusty from United States. All right, I could see that. Fidel Escobar definitely deserved to be there from Panama. Brian Tamakas. This is one of the guys that we are talking about from day one. When we played them, we played them at one point, and I'm saying that he is one of the guys that could reach places in this team, and we should not sleep on El Salvador coming up. So to see that they made him into one of those personnels, that is great, and it only could get better from this point. Only could. All right. Then in defensive department, you have Adalberto from Panama. All right, and I love the fact that Panama adding a few players in their team, which is very much important. Yes, because when we have to do a deep dive into say that we have to make a complete overhaul. These guys are putting in solid pieces over and over in their team, and it keeps getting better and better. All right, Jonathan Asario, and they drop deeper. I would not really play him that deep, to be honest. If it was Ustakio, I would be okay. But I just believe that Asario made the team in that position based on the limited placements. That's what I would say. The limited placement, and he played so good. They had to put him in it. So that's the reason why I thought they made that slight adjustment right there. All right, guys. Once you come in, please do smash the like button, share, and subscribe. The title is right there. So any one of them you want to attack first, no problem. After 30 minutes, when we finish all of the things, we will take the necessary calls for the title itself, at least the end part of the title. All right. Yes. Outside, because it's a 3-2 or a 3-2, no, a 3-2-3-2. All right. Yes, that's what I would or a 3-4-3 or a 3-4-1-2. All right. I think 3-4-1-2 is a little bit better. All right, because they put back. Yeah, man, a 3-4-1-2, yes, or a 3-5-2, whatever you want, whatever extension you want to put at it. So they put Right and left midfielder, Ishmael Kone. Ishmael Kone, it should have been in the Osario position. So it surprised me why they would not switch Osario with Ishmael Kone. Ishmael Kone, this is the reason why I thought that Canada will get better down the line, because Ishmael Kone, those are the individuals that out here pushing some good work. All right, Ishmael Kone, central midfielder, young guy, and he's rapidly rising. So he's the next one with Ustakio on the list for Canada. So that's why I know Canada will be deadly again. All right, it's not a one-trick pony for Canada, because Canada has more rising stars, actual rising stars, than almost everybody. All right, so look out for Ishmael Kone in the team. All right, then Pulisic played well in both what I would say in both games. So definitely he deserves to be on the list based on his performance. All right, so I would not take him off. I think he was definitely solid, and I would not change Kone out of it. I would only switch Osario out wide, or put Bobby Reid out wide, put Osario up the field a little bit more, and Kone inside the hole with Adalberto. That would be my my final midfield there. All right, yes. So Bobby Reid in the cam position, a place that most of us would not want to play him in. Definitely, they put him there. He deserves to make the team, regardless of where you do put him. Both of Jamaica's goals came from where he struck the ball. All right, yes. And up front, Ricardo Pepi. Pepi scored 2, then scored the sole goal over El Salvador. So definitely in both games, he gives you that he gives you what we expected from him when he scored the 2 goals against Jamaica, but never really kicked on. He had some personal things, tried to move here and there. No, it looks like he settled, and he came back with a bang. And worst off, you have Daryl DK having much more experience. That is helping him to push him further. Kyle Lauren is the next one that you have to give credit. And this is why we can't sleep on the Canadians then at all, because Kyle Lauren seems to be out there forcing Jonathan David's hands. So as soon as he keep on clicking and breaking records, Kyle Lauren kept pace with him every single time, even though one is an exceptional young talent. All right, so that is the best 11. So let me know the individuals that you would have changed out and who you would have put in over that one. And this is for League A. You have League B different, but I know a lot of people did not watch League B, so I'm not going to even go into that, and I will save it for the Imaxit channel. All right, so guys, make sure you come in, smash that like button, share, subscribe, get the likes to 100. That is always the aim. All right, very fast, so that can give the visibility out there. I'm alive. Oh, you're doing massive respect. King, Chris King, big up yourself. Thanks for being here. Yo, JD, give me 2 girl, my general. I don't know where I'm picking up girls to give it to you. I'm very sorry, but I cannot find one of the girls for you because I'm in Belgium and people inside their houses. All right, yes. Greetings, Maislin. Oh, you're doing, man. Hope all is well. Then we have our brother, Island Card in the building. All right, yes, man. Chris Smith said, hello, JD, the general. Excellent content. If you keep this up, you will be the GOAT. Well, I'm expecting to keep it up, you know. I'm expected to keep it up, you know. So let's see. Then we have our brother Jason in the building. Massive respect. Jason Guna, not the one Jason Troublemaker Ferran. All right. Yes. Then we have Africans. Oh, you're doing, man. Massive respect. All right. Yes. Not one Mexican on the list. That must be the first. Well, tell you what. They shipped 2 goals against Jamaica. They created 1,000 million chances. You know, that's the truth. You know, I think they did Mexico a bad service. I thought that Mexico, no. I knew why Mexico never made it. Look, but Bobby Reid should have not made it then, if that's the same reason, because Bobby Reid made it off 1 game. But Mexico players, some of them played only 1 game. So that's what I was trying to look at, to say, okay, it's just 1 game for Jamaica. No, 1 game, some of the players then played for Mexico. So hence why they would have said, okay, let me rate them a little bit lower, and they wouldn't have made the listing. But it's 1 game Bobby Reid played. You understand me? So Bobby Reid made it. So it's not fair. It's not fair, you know? It's not fair. I thought that Lozano should have made it. Lozano should have made it at least, because he was definitely one of the best players out there, one of the best displayed player overall. So I'm shocked that they did not put him in it, you know. But maybe clearly it looks like Concacaf trying to fight against the Mexicans, to be honest. All right, JD, me a look a Belgian wife, you know. Oh my God. So yeah, you know what? I might start doing vlogging in the future, and you guys might can find a few girls on the street, and you tell me, and then I have to go for them. So maybe, yeah. Javan, big up yourself. Thanks for being here. Massive respect. All right, so let me move on from here. Let me move on from here and get up the next card, because we ain't having the whole day on these things. As I said, it's 2 hours maximum for our stream, so we don't need to stay on internet for the entire day. You get me? Yes. Africans, big up yourself. Thanks for being here. As much as I love the potential of Kone, I would put Eustachio over him for all of the Group A games. So, well, I'm that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I thought that Eustachio should have been in that position, but they said they want Kone in. But that still showed you that what they could do. You know what they could do. Yes. So let me give you something. Let me give you something. We have a gem here that you need to listen keenly. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you. I'm just going to give you slight things to look out for. All right. You need to watch all of the games tomorrow, because something good might pop up for you guys. All right. Yes. So guys, as we said, smash the like button as they come in. Let me race to 50 likes in the Friday night. As you know, remember, we only tell us to hit the like button. We not tell us we want nothing. All right. Just the like button alone, and we are perfectly happy. So 200 likes on this, and we are perfectly happy. We don't want any money from you. We want nothing at all. We just want you to hit the free like button, and that's why, you know, YouTube pays you or see enough money. We are very much satisfied. So just hit the like button, and we're satisfied even further. All right. JD, give us a woman on the street. I've never said it's maybe the way you're looking at it, it's not the same as what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying, if I'm doing a vlogging, and I do see someone on the street, and you said, all right, then you like a person, I can ask them, since you want to send me out. All right. Yes, because you think I'm a send out boy. JD, blessings on this Friday, on the chat. All the best. Thank you very much, sir. How are you doing, man? Is this just for this window? Yes. Because Bobby Reed never played the entire window, so we're in the world. Bobby Reed making this full list. You get me? It's like he's cunning the man them with his big super goals, you know? Yes, man. And I have to tell you guys, go back and look at the goals that scored. Bobby Reed came third. Bobby Reed came third with that goal. So you have to wonder, what other 2 goals could have done better than him? And oh my God, you had some better goals, are some questionable better goals. All right. Yes. That's why I'm telling you, that one that got first place. No, I have to say, I'm not complaining on the one that got first place. I have to say that, yeah. It was one of those David Burkamp. Was it Burkamp? Yes, Burkamp from Arsenal. Yeah, was it Burkamp? Yeah, man, it's Burkamp from Netherlands and Arsenal. Yeah, that no look back heel pass in versus Newcastle, something like that got the first number of 1 position. And I want to say to you, I think it deserves it over Bobby Reed. I'm very sorry, but Bobby Reed goal is a ridiculous goal. But when goals like that with the technical ability scores, you have to start it's hard for you not to pick the goal. But one thing I could say, yes, it's Burkamp, yes. So one thing I have to say is, he never got cheated. You know, you could have given him his goal, the first place, but definitely that goal that scored, it was up there. So all 3 goals were warranted to be first place. Then put it at that. Yes, yeah. So all of the goals were fantastic. Top 3, fantastic. So please go on the Concacaf page and look at it. All right. Yes. Big up yourself, Alpha Man. Thanks very much for being here. Massive respect. So Kevin, big up yourself as well. Jamaica will win the Gold Cup. Heard it here first. All right. Massive respect. All right. So King J in the building. Big up yourself. So what Bobby Reed used a dunce badness ability That was technical. Brother, I just said something, and Jason, if you learn in your life not to challenge everything. It's not everything you need to challenge. All right, I've just said something, and I'm not going to go down a fight part with you. All right, if you feel like he's one who's better, no problem. That's what I've said. I literally said the exact thing, and you're out here fighting. It's like every day you get up and want to fight. All right, but I'm not going to fight today because it's Friday and I'm feeling good. All right. Anyways, let me look at the Reggae Boyz abroad because this is very, very much important. So at least when I'm here talking about football, you don't have people like Dan Life that has no life out here telling me that I'm exposing myself because I don't know why would I expose myself and I have on so much clothes. Yes. So anyways, in the Premier League, we have a few games that I would love for you to watch. Bobby Reid should return in the Bournemouth game. Mr. Consistent, he will be there. Mr. Consistent will be there. All right, so Bobby Reid versus Bournemouth there. Make what of that you will. Then you have Brentford versus Brighton. So for people that's watching or that came over through the Reggae Boyz, you have Ethan Pinnock playing for that team. So you have Ethan Pinnock in action. Ethan Pinnock in action tomorrow. So Ethan Pinnock in the Premier League in action. Ethan Pinnock. Bobby Reid. Bobby Reid, and you have Leon Bailey should be in action because he scored he assisted a goal on the back of before the international break. So that will give them some confidence to get off his back and let him play the game. So you should expect Leon Bailey. So we have Bobby Reid, Leon Bailey, and Ethan Pinnock tomorrow. All right, so look out for that. So those are the 3 games that you should look out for tomorrow. All right, yes. So let me move down to the rest of the things then because we have a next one that I want you to watch. I'm just telling you that you need to watch it. All right, so this one is a one that you need to watch. This one will be tomorrow as well. Circle Braga. As we said, keep an eye on it. Circle Braga versus Kortrijk. Kortrijk. Watch that one. It's 4 o'clock tomorrow for me. Let me see what time Jamaica that. What time in Jamaica is it now? So I can check it. What time in Jamaica is it now? So I could tell you the right one. Or someone go on their page, look at the timing to see it. Kortrijk versus Circle Braga. It says 4 for me. 4 for me. So I think it should be around 9 o'clock in the morning for Jamaica. But 10, I think it should be because it's 9:20 now. So what time in Jamaica now? It's 2:20 now in Jamaica. So it should be 9 o'clock Jamaica time. 4 for me. So keep an eye on that one. All right. Yes, so 9 o'clock GA time. So keep an eye on that one in terms of players to watch. For that club, you have Zimenez played for that club, and I explained that separate video. If you have interest, you go back and listen to the first video. I've explained everything why you should look out for that. All right. So Tariq, let me put Tariq Zimenez right there. So Zimenez. Yeah, so look out for that one right there. So Reggae Boyz all over the place, Reggae Boyz. All right, yes. So yeah, so that's it. So tomorrow, we're looking over 3, sure 3. Ethan Pinnock, Bobby Reid, Leon Bailey. All right, definitely Leon Bailey you need to look out for. So Leon Bailey is the main one you need to look out for with Circle Braga, 9 o'clock. All right, yes. So Leon Bailey, let me give you the time for Leon Bailey game. Leon Bailey game is the later game, 6:30. 6:30 my time is Leon Bailey game, so that should be 2 hours extra, so that should be 11:30, I think. 11:30 Jamaica time. 11:30 Jamaica time. All right. Yes. So look out for those games. That is very, very much important. All right. Yes. So watch it tomorrow. All right. Yeah. Very, very much important. Big up yourself, Triple E. Yes. Read on YouTube the Mexicans saying why this goal in Azteca against us. They have to live with it. Yes, man. Yes, man. Bobby Reed gets nowhere near the deserved recognition from the Jamaican fan base, but he seems to get the recognition from Concacaf fan base. So that is all you need. All right, because he's not born in Jamaica. You see how they deal with the man. If it was a Jamaican born scored that goal, you would hear everybody and every channel talking about it. Well, I have one of the biggest channel and I'm talking about it. So let me just avoid that. Sometimes I just want people to just avoid it. Just look like me alone exists and me alone do what me do, which me alone do what I do. So just let it just slide like that. You don't have to mention those things. All right. If you said because he's not English, you don't have to call anybody else, you know, because it's not a lot of people can comprehend and it might go even further. And I don't want to disrespect anybody, because I'm extremely disrespectful. Daniel West, big up yourself. Thanks for being here. Massive respect. O'Neill, big up yourself. Thanks for being here. All right. So what I'm going to do now, I had the second part of this video, which is very much important. For me, this was not sent by anybody, but I had looked at a few things and I realized that the JFF, their biggest problem is the social and technology part of their program. I think that they could definitely earn more from it and use that to gain more recognition, and also when I say earn more and get more recognition at the same time, and maybe kill that stigma about themselves being a bad person. I do believe that it came down to JFF's social and technological side. All right. So I wanted to talk on it. So I said I'm going to open something, because you have a lot of people that said they are the brightest thing on earth. Because when it comes down to Jamaicans, that's all what I've always heard, you know. So I would love to hear from some of those brightest people in the world. So if they could give me some ideas, you get me, I would put mine forward, and you see if it could be the solution in order to get them more capital, and also clear up the like for instance, that comment just a while ago about local overseas guys not getting enough recognition. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All right, so I'm going to give you what I have here, and I would love for you to call in anybody. Obviously we have a bag of bright people on the channel, so anybody call in, it does not matter. It's going to be one of the bright persons then, so it does not matter. Pagan, big up yourself. Thanks for being here. Massive respect, big boss. Chris Smith said, JD, it's no disrespect when our player in England score. We don't hear about it in the space, but I that's why I've provided you a space that it's different. So sometimes, Chris, man, you have to just stop paying these people attention, man. Just leave them alone, man. If people know what, look, everybody can do what they want. You get me? So you don't have to pay it in the mind, man. Clearly, if you have been saying this for 50 years and they're not going to do different, it tells you who they are. You say just leave it alone, because they're not going to be different. You get me? You say just leave it alone. You get me? Yes. So I do Reggae Boyz Abroad because it's my series. I invented it. You get me? So that means I should be the one doing it. So it's my job to do it, and I am doing it. So just leave it alone, Chris, man. You know, sometimes we don't need to have the unnecessary argument here. All right? Yes. So anyways, so I will drop the link right here. So if the bright minds them don't have their cell phone and can't call in, and they want to come on maybe via the Wi-Fi, just make sure your camera is on and you give me your take to it. All right, and it's based off JFF social and technical solution. All right, I'm gonna show you some things. I'm gonna bring up some things right here. Let me switch over right now to show you. And remember, guys, I'm not going to give you none of my secret, you know, all right? Yes. All right. So, anyways, for me, I looked at it as image. So, what the JFF want to improve on image. All right, image, because we just talked about the same thing. Chris talking about their image, funds, and so image. It's three things for me: image, funds, and oh, I would put this now. Integration, because obviously majority of our players are not born Jamaicans. So integration become an integral part of this kind of conversation. So integration, so image clean, image clean. So put that as that, image clean, funds, as always, and integration. So those are the three parts that I've actually broken it down into. All right, image, funds, and integration. How you would have tried to fix image, funding, and integration in the package of social and technology. How would you go about that? So I want to hear some comments. I have not saw those comments as yet, so I'm waiting to hear that. So this is the bracket you have to use, JFF, the social and technology side. So how would you use it? Socializing. How could you use socializing to solve integration situation, image situation, and maybe funding? All right. And if you had your entire, you had control of the JFF, then put it at that, because remember, we always have we always talk like, oh yeah, they are the problems. So you are getting it in your hands for a little time. How would you go about fixing that? All right, yes, because I'm just listening, because I want to hear. All right, I had some plans, so if you want me to share mine first, no problem, but that would be unfair because you guys are the bright minds, so I'm expecting to hear from some of the bright people. Oh, they would have gone about that. All right, yes. Let me give you a little time, and as you come in, we have 66 already in the house. Please do smash that like button, share, and if you have not subscribed, definitely subscribe to the channel. All right, yes, I've said it. We are talking about the JFF social and technology side, how you would go about solving it. All right, so three other things, subtopics below it: image clean, funds, and integration, because obviously we have a lot of players coming in. We barely have local players really playing for the team, to be honest. All right, it's much more of the overseas players because we have that at as the forefront to go forward due to a lot of things. Infrastructure inside the country, not at the highest level. Personnel's coaching, not at the highest level. You get me? And also funding. You get me? So it's a lot of things why we have to go this direction. So I would love to hear the answer. All right. Karoom says, biggest event I keep in the Caribbean this weekend, Boys and Girls Championship at the National Stadium. Okay. You know anything about champ? No, I don't know anything about champs. But I'm talking about something here, Karoom. So I expected you to hear what I'm saying and respond to what I'm saying. So I want to see how you're thinking. All right. So for me, I broke it down in three things. So for the because I broke it down into social and technology. So technology, simple. Technology, you have your social media. Social media will always be a big part to fix. Not definitely not integration, but I would say image clean and funding. Image clean and funding would have been solved via social media. Social media could fix it because social media was the destroyer of their image as well, are part of a major part of their destruction, to be honest. All right. Yes. So I would say social media could have gotten that started out. So on social media, you have the main social medias, Instagram, Twitter, and obviously YouTube. All right, obviously YouTube. So those are the three main parts. Obviously, some people, I don't know how much people really use Facebook, because to be honest, for me, I don't really use Facebook so much, and I do get that a lot of people don't use it either. All right, so I don't really use it much, and I assume that a lot don't. But if you do, put Facebook on it. So, or you could fix the funding now. The funding. Facebook itself has capital. Twitter announced capital. Instagram announced capital, and YouTube was built around capital. YouTube was built around capital. All right. Yes. So with YouTube, with all of these head bases built around capital, what you have to do now, what you have to generate incomes, what you have to generate income is very much important. All right, and the only thing you have directly at this point to generate income, you would have your jersey sales to generate income. So you could promote that. So to generate income, yes, so your jersey sale is one. And then right after that, now you have the main capital, the main resource, your players. All right, your players. So all you would have gone about that now. You have windows for your players. All right, you have windows for your players. So you would have tried, or you wouldn't try, because that's the only way you could have done it. So with the players, what you would have done now, you would have had interviews. So content pretty much would be the leading line of the success. All right, the leading line of the success. So that is the best way you would have done it. So the content would have cleaned the image, because that people would have started to think that, okay, yes, these guys are very much comfortable. So majority of the individuals that you would want contents from at the start would have to be the guys coming over from overseas. All right, because you want to make sure you sell them to the people, so the people understand and buy into what you're doing. So the coaches' plans could solve by what the people bought into, due to the fact that majority of them only know who play in the Manning Cup and in the JPL. So if an entry and exit, they could even give one full-length interview based off what they have gone through in the last spell before they came on the tournament. That would be very much well received, and also what they have learned about Jamaica, and also what they learned throughout the Concacaf, like footballing wise. Because one thing I've learned about Jamaica itself, Jamaicans love to hear about Jamaica. So obviously they don't perceive these guys are as natural Jamaicans. All right. Yes. So they want to know how they feel about Jamaica, what they have learned about Jamaica, what is special about Jamaica, i.e. like how they were asking the coach about Jamaica. All right. So that would be a sellable product right there. And that could be on a lot of mediums. A lot of mediums that could actually go on. All of the sellable mediums, it could have went on and recoup revenues, and not just recoup revenues, protect the coach itself. So when the coach makes certain decisions, it's much more engraved in the country itself, because a lot of people would find the JFF, because obviously the JFF is where football would have lived. All right, you have a head base called the Jamaican Reggae Boyz. So that is the that's where we do our contents. All right. So if they are the control of the head base and they don't do videos, you know how bad that is. All right. So that means you're losing capital by the second. All right. Yes, by the second you're losing capital. So I think I'm just giving off a little rough look at things, and then you could work on different ways to give it to me. All right. Yeah. So I think that the image clean could have fixed somewhat there, and the funding could have come through that as well. And you attack all the social media and put them out. And I think, believe me, the reception from these guys would have been completely different. All of that problematic thing that what Chris Smith talked about would have solved very, very easily. All right. So put it in front of their faces. All right. Yes. African says, imagine the JFF needs a brand identity. The easiest thing is celebrate all things Jamaican. Players, club, coaches become a spotlight for all things Jamaica. Grow it on TikTok, IG, and Twitter. Thank you very much, Africans. That is exactly what I try to break down in a much more, what I would say, sketchy format, a much more sketchy format. Yes, so that is one of the ways that it would have worked. And to be honest, integration could have actually worked as well, inclusive of what we just talked about. You know why? Look at it. Our integration would have worked. You after these guys cover the interviews, all right? After these guys cover the interviews, it's going to be on the internet, all about. They're on Twitter, they're on Instagram. I think they're more on Instagram than anywhere else. They're more on Instagram than anywhere else, guys. More than anywhere else. So if you have a video there, people start to react to it. You tag them in it. Obviously, they are going to get a reaction. So they will start to see what people think about them. If they feel like to answer a question and socialize, it would be better there. You understand me? So, and it would be more sellable when it's easier accessible to the persons. You know, yeah. So they are learning. The people learning about them, and it's in their faces, instant. You get me? And they're getting more followers themselves, so it's benefiting even the players them. So that's a connective chain right there. All right, yes, they could use that and solve three things at once. Three things could be solved. Three damn thing could be solved. All right, yes. I'm sure I heard the JFF deal was a one-time payment and not a royalty deal. Okay, you're sure, but oh, you're talking in terms of the jersey, Taj Mahal? If you're talking in terms of the jersey, what I was actually talking about is a little bit different. You get me? When I said it, you could have sold the jerseys. Look, what you could have done now, once you have the interviews for the players, and you're pushing it out and more people seeing it, what you would have done now, you would have literally pinned the links for that now. So people would have bought it. And remember, every single time you sold a jersey, you get commission off it. So you get me? So every single jersey sold for Jamaica, they get a percentage off it. So they're selling their brands while they're trying to clean their image. So everything could tie in. Taj Mahal. So I was not talking about direct like, oh, if you sell a jersey, you get money off it, and you know. No, I was not talking about it. Accountability and transparency. We going to be going around in a circle. People support you if they have clear plan and identity. So that's that's exactly what I'm talking about, you know, Karoom. So why I tell you, Karoom is something else. They also need something more than Reggae Boyz as a follow tag. Ghana was running. So Africans, the link is right there. You know, why you never just come on? Let me drop the link so you can come on. Okay, what's going on here? Okay, that's a link, Africans. You could come on if you want. All right, because you're out here saying all things. All right, yes. Julie said, "Thank you." Yes, you did some. Yes, I was finished for the day, Julie, but someone brought this to my attention, so I wanted to come and see if I could pick the brains of persons. But apparently, all of the bright persons, they are dead when the time comes for me to get the information from them. You get me? So they are dead. Maybe later when they're rewatching this video, they will return. Yes, but I want to just do this one. This one was just something to put out there, especially what's to watch. Yeah, that is very, very much important. The part to watch it is very, very much more important. Yeah, so that's why. All right, so that's my idea on it. A little rough summary. So all the super what you call them Google man them. I have not heard anything from the Google specialists. You know, yeah. I have not heard anything from the Google specialists. All right, yeah. All right, Africans at work. Why you keep doing that, sir?
Yo, JD, how you doing, man?
I'm here, man, trying to chop up this. If I
Yes.
can hear from the Google man, but
Oh,
the
I'm the
Google
Google
man,
man. I didn't
no,
know that I
no,
was the
not,
Google
no,
man.
no, that was not you. He knows
Okay.
himself,
Okay. He does know
Okay.
himself. That's
All
true.
right. So let me turn up this and let the Google man speak. Hello, Google man. How are you doing? Oh, hold on. It was not connected. Sorry. Yes. Yeah, we're hearing a Google man. Here, look. Anyway, Jason, stop making it about yourself. This video is not about me nor you. All right. What say you now? Mm-hmm. Yes, because remember we're looking at we're not looking at only money, because most people only look at funding. You get me? But remember, clean image increase your funding as well.
JD, we're not
You get
hearing.
me? You're not hearing Jason, Africans?
No, I'm
Okay,
not.
one
I don't
second,
think
one
anyone
second.
in the chat
I
is
know
either.
that simply means my mic was
Connected.
not connected, which is terrible. Jesus God, I'm sorry, guys. All right, Africans should be able to hear you in the chat. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, Jason, go on now, Jason.
Check 1 few. Check.
No, it's working. It's working.
You're here, Jason. You're here.
I just have too much mics connected to the computer.
Big bad sound. All right. So yeah. So as far as the image and the social media outlook and everything, I think the main thing is the JFF just needs to seek out experts in the area, right? I think for too long, JFF trying to put people that have been there and trying to make it work, right? So we definitely just need some better staffing on that side of things, because people that are more in tune with algorithms and best peak time to post and things of that nature, people that really study these social media things, those are the people that should be in charge. So just that in itself, just putting out posts at peak times, knowing what things to put in your tags to make sure it has the best visibility to your audience and your target and core audience. Those little things are things that I'm sure. Well, I won't say I'm sure, but I don't think the JFF
No,
has
you're
been
sure.
doing that
You're sure,
in
man.
the past.
Yes, you're correct.
So like as you were saying, as far as the entry and exit interviews, I think that is crucial, because as you said, too many times when we get players in, only the most avid of Reggae Boyz fans would know who they are. Most of the casual fan that's just watching the game, they have to be learning about the player on the fly. So I think, we're just not taking advantage of that, because there's a whole layer to it that we're not even tapping into. Because if you can make somebody know a person, like for example, right? Some people might not have known Lembisika until the game against Mexico, right? And I'm saying these are casual fans, right? Now, he's seen playing for us now. And now today, they might be checking up. He's back in England. He played an under 21 game today. Oh, him and Tyler Roberts playing. So like, I feel like we need to take more advantage of that. Just really like promote these players that come over. And again, it doesn't have to be where we're just promoting the players that come over. Interviews should be done for all the players that we use, and that way you can look up about whichever player you want to look about, right? But I think one of the main things is just getting the right personalities in these positions, because I don't think the people that are in these roles really have a grasp of what they're doing in that space. So I think that in itself would help a lot. Just getting better personnel in the role.
But knowing these people, you're not gonna get them away instant. So would you not try to hand over the solution, and then the personnel in charge of making the decision could decide what to do, at least the best outcome at that point?
Yes, all I'm saying is inside the solution, you need to put that as a bullet point. that perhaps the personnel is not in the setup right now, and we suggest you seek out these type of people. That's what I would put in there. Now, whether they do that or not, but we can grade them after the fact. But I would include in anything that is, well, no, you don't have to say that. You just include in there that for this to reach optimum levels of performance, you're gonna need to get these type of people with this expertise in the position. That is a part of the actual solution.
Yes, that is facts. That is facts. Guys, make sure to smash the like button as you come on. All right. Yes, man. We're already at an hour and we don't even hit 100 as yet. So definitely do so. I know you guys would not be interested in things like this because it's not about the drama. So I know a certain people will come here when we are doing these videos. So we expect that. But we have to do it nonetheless because we are trying to aim for something different. You get me? Yes, and that's what we try to strive for. Yeah. So you have a point here. You have a point here. Yeah, so aside from the entry and exit, what would you add into it as well? To improve the integration part.
Well, the integration part, I think there needs to be something set up like a manual of some sort that can be given to prospective players. Just teaching them a little bit about Jamaica more. And I think it should be uniform. And the reason why I say that is we want to make it as if, it's something that the players overseas, like they're expecting and looking forward to getting this package, whatever it may contain. I think once you add that aspect of it where, okay, there's an actual formal process. I get a phone call, I get an email, I get the package. The more uniform we can make the whole process, I think the better off we'll be. Because what we want that domino effect of when players come and they're treated in a certain way, they then become your most important recruits for the other players. Because too much in the past, we have players come and we give them a bad taste in their mouth as far as what the situation is and what their experience is like, that we're always wondering, how come this man play with these other two guys and they're not coming to? But if they don't have anything to report back in a positive light, why would they be telling anybody about it? So I think the more we need to get with, because I think Jamaica does a good job of marketing itself in terms of tourism industry. So we need to lean on that industry to help. How do we formulate this package? What things do you think are integral to include in this package, right? And we lean on the parts of Jamaica that are working, because we have a very good tourism industry, and those people do a great job of marketing their hotels and their various resorts that they want to showcase. So we need to lean on the people in the island that have expertise in that area, and include them in the process as well, because the more you get those people on board, the easier it will be when the players do come over. You get the tourist board to help you with those documents, and then when they come over, maybe you have a inline with the hotels, and you can get a deal with them. So the more we utilize what we have going on and what works in Jamaica to make it work together, I think the better. So I think that should also be included. Some kind of orientation or some kind of package that you can put together to send to prospective players.
Okay. Africans, go ahead.
No, I think Jason brings up a good point. And the reality in 2023 is that just like it's not in past days where your Gen Sec is the front office of your federation, or your PR person is your front person of your organization. Your social media is that. Whatever the door or window you have is what players will see. So I like Jason's thought on just the standardization of just things, sending them a package, letting them know that they're valued, whatever level of the recruitment process that they are. But that means in terms of building the window, in terms of what Jamaican culture is, what that is for the player and what that is for the actual federation. And it's interesting that Jamaica has the motto, out of many, one people, is sitting there for them. And they could easily lead into that as a theme in terms of promotion, in terms of celebrating players, in terms of just celebrating coaches, leagues, whether they're playing in St. Anne's Parish, or if they're playing in Belgium or in Germany or in the championship in England. You can lean into that and almost understand what does that Jamaican aspect mean for you. But then that creates the windows from there. Then when you're recruiting players, you're already celebrating them. And at that point, it's a lot easier of a sell and a buy-in for them because they are seeing themselves or seeing the value. Maybe they see a player at a parish and say, that's how my grandfather grew up. He played there. Maybe a player overseas has seen a player who's coming up in an academy and saying, this is my Jamaican culture. This is what was passed down to me. This is how I'm living it out here. And ultimately building that overall frame where now you're no longer just, wait, you play in this league now? You should play for us. No, we already know about you. We're talking about you. We've celebrated you. And we've built this culture and this framework where you're not a secret to us because we've been watching you. We've been celebrating you. We question how you eat Jamaican patties, but we still love you for the entire time. So I think it's important. The brand of building it doesn't just start with exit and entry. It starts with identification. It doesn't matter if you have 2% Jamaican in you or if you're 98% Jamaican. If there's a drop of Mobe in you, we'll celebrate you. If there's a drop of St. Anne's Parish in, we'll celebrate you. That's how it has to be on a social aspect, because I think that helps to build more of those connections with the country and the federation than just waiting for them to reach a level of footballing and then calling them once every 5 weeks, hoping that they'll come represent you.
All right. Big up yourself, Dr. Gigi. Thanks for being here. RJ, hope all is well with you. Akeem said you're not hearing, so we'd want to hear back from you. All right, because you said you're not hearing. So when you heard what he said, you need to respond. I think this is the least comments I've ever gotten on a show. Yes. The audio is okay. The audio is okay. Let me turn up the audio to make sure. Yeah. So but our problem in Africans, remember, we are not getting into their way. We are just trying to see, it's possible to fix certain things, like the ideas coming from ourselves right here, like what we can produce to them and give them some factual data to see, to let them know, because clearly Jason part, the part of them might not have the right personnel getting the information needed. You get me? And then they're losing, because I brought up the window of the Jamaica Reggae Boyz. Obviously, they have a bigger window because they don't have just the Jamaica Reggae Boyz. It's just a window that we are showing them. So the tagline Jamaica Reggae Boyz, maybe off that alone, they lost so much.
It could be that. Like, there's no doubt it could be that. But at the same time, it's how much have we actually even tried to build off of it, right? Just watching Jamaica from afar, there are things that we all see they could do better from their socials in terms of building those relationships, celebrating players. I mean, how many times have we seen an accomplishment from one Jamaican player that goes under the bus, nobody talks about it, but then the next day another Jamaican player gets it and it's there. And all you have to do is just hit retweet on Twitter, right? The players are there. The players are active when they need to be. So in that sense, it's not an impossible task, but like you said, it's about identifying what the needs are, and then from there, building it out from there so that you can have an effective socials team and technology.
So you're what we are not doing now, Africans. We're not doing now. We have obviously they have improved this. They have improved the social posting, which is good. I think it's doing a good job. But I don't think they're capitalizing off the social posting right there. So it's just there because they just started. So so our Instagram have ways to pay you, right? Twitter have ways to pay you as well. I don't think they are actually capitalizing off that. And all the way to capitalize off all of these things with Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, it's always video format. You understand me? So we are saying that as what Jason said as well, and I said it as well too. For instance, the entry and exit is very much important because I think it solves ways like, for instance, people get to know you. I'm sure if Ethan Pinnock did an interview, which he did a short version one the other day, I heard a lot of people saying that, wow, where this player playing for Jamaica? You understand me? So that itself makes somebody get in tune with that personnel. So that in itself gives you an extra click. We have 2.8 million people locally, and obviously we have people overseas. So that's a big branch. Look how much people follow us as individuals. Like my channel. Look how much people follow my channel per month. You understand me? They have they have the license for the project completely. So if you have the license for the project, you have already, let me check right here. Let me check right here. Let me check right here. So let me check on the Instagram just to show you. Just to show you how bad they are doing, because it seems good, you know. It seems good when you know the number. So they have 100,000 followers on their Instagram, right? And then here on the Twitter, they have 29,000. So 129,000. They have 13,000 on the on the YouTube channel. So that's 140,000 then 140,000 eyeballs just for starters. You know, remember you just started to post of lately. You weren't up to date on your posting. So now, if you have 140,000 people circulated in a ring for a solid 1 year, you're gonna benefit so much instant, but you're gonna always build in. So if they don't start now properly by selling the product, and I think the video format product of the entry and the exit, they're going to drop off big time because somebody else will capitalize on these things, and people have been capitalizing on these things, their failures. So that's why I'm saying that that's why I'm asking the necessary questions like, immediate they need to start. You get me? Immediate they need to start, because it
Yeah.
will solve a lot of things.
No, and I agree. And in that context, I understand what you're saying now. Yeah, they should have started this yesterday. The amount of eyeballs that they have and the access that they do have. Again, they have the keys to the high end car, and they're just leaving it there because they've bought it, but they're not driving it. It's not even out in the garage. It's not even out in the driveway. It's just sitting in a warehouse somewhere. And I think if they're not careful about it, people are surpassing them, because when it comes to interacting with players, you don't go to the JFF for that. I haven't. I've gone to other channels. If I'm looking for post game, I've gone to other channels. Looking for pre-game camp talks, I've gone to other channels. Whereas if I'm looking for those players, I can easily find them. I think they need to establish a better presence, because they do have access and they have the ability to do it. But I think with a lot of things with the JFF, they don't have the right people in place to do so. But then how hard is it for them to get those people? Because one could argue you can easily find 5 or 6 people who can record an interview, chop it up into bites, have a long format, have a shorter format, put it out as shorts on YouTube if you want to go there. And then next thing you know, you have 40 minutes of content you've split up 7 ways, and it's getting all the hits, all the views, and that's building the profile more, that's building your engagements. And then all of a sudden, look, little revenue stream on the side, plus you're needing the fans where they are in terms of wanting to get to know these players more. They certainly can't do it. The question will be, are they willing to do that?
No, man, they are willing to do it. You know, they just don't know. They just actually don't know, and that's why I went back to Jason. We're going to try and get Jason back in. I went back to Jason's take to say, yeah, maybe that is a solution, because I have some data here. This is the data for only one category, which is Jamaica Reggae Boyz. Highest views 150,000 in 2023. Average views 21,227. Average subscribers, which is the yearly, you can grasp per year, 76,437, which they would be at the highest elm because they are the certified personnel. So that means they could get up to 76,000 per year. And top creator, I would prefer not to see that one because it's weird. Or who the top creator is, it would have dropped down. So let me leave that. Let me leave that. So, anyways, for 2023, advertisement payout as of March 31st, 31st, 03, 2021, per thousand. Here this range from 0.8, 0.80 US dollars to $4 per thousand. All right. Yes. So, and in Jamaican conversion, JMD 120 to 600,000, $600 per thousand. All right. Yes. So look at that then. So for instance, so for instance, I've just given you some factual information. All right. So for instance, just a small video from Ethan Pinnock and those guys get a range of 300. Say 2,000. That 2,000, obviously, it's going to be at a poorer threshold, which is Jamaica. Jamaica's CPM is not good because the advertisement is not the highest level and it's not the most costly. So that's how it works. But if obviously Americans, we had done that for the category, like the YouTubers have done that. Had done that for the category, so it's not a problem. So you could get a mixture of $2 per thousand. So just a man coming in and the meager 3,000 there bring you back a revenue of easy well $6 plus people that would have donated to the channel, because if they do see that you're doing more, they have the luxury to put a sticker or whatever on your stream. You get me? So those features have not been used, and I'm telling you, they're losing so much revenue. So out of 3,000 views there, they could lose easy well 2,000 to 5,000 Jamaican dollars. So every interview they could lose 2,000, 5,000 and upwards, because I think it's going to be at upwards, to be honest, because it's not 3,000, it's going to be upwards. So I would think from 2,000 to 10,000 each interviews. All right. Yes. So that's why I do think that they are doing a bad job on that side, and it's very, very evident via these stats here, because they have nothing. So, so whatever we're giving a year cannot be worse than nothing. You understand me? Yes. So, yeah. So, Jason, what say you now? Since I've given you some of the numbers.
Yeah. So basically, it's a typical case of just not knowing, because if they have that much of a reach with little to no effort, right? Just because people that support Jamaica Reggae Boyz, there are people watching whatever they put out. The minute they turn that into a monetized stream, they're gonna just get money that they didn't know they could get. Now, in the beginning, just to start out, if they're worried about, if they don't want to add another cost, right? You know, it just has to be content. It doesn't matter how it's created. I know, in the beginning, you just give them whatever equipment they would need, a proper microphone, a proper camera, and they can start right away. What I would suggest, like, all right, with the Gold Cup coming up, how about in the hotel room, you do a little series where you interview the players, you ask them how they come in and like anytime the team is together for a window, that should be the time when they just getting all kinds of content. All the players there, you interview them, so you start to build a database of interviews, and they can make it a thing. Every Wednesday at this time, we're going to put out another interview, and you make it an event, and it can be a live event, so you can introduce the super chats and these things. So, look, the capital is there. Anytime, the main thing about any of these platforms trying to make money off of it is the ability to have content. And they're sitting on a gold mine. They have a football team with football players that play football every day, and they have a bunch of football fans. So that right there, the content is there. Just turn on the camera, turn on the machine, and put it out.
All right. Well said. Ari5 said the federation needs to establish a better social media presence and conduct more interviews with players so fans can get to know the players and feel more connected to the squad. Yes. But we have to show it in a way that it's not just, oh, you just want to turn on something because they're going to come and say, oh, what would this a burn current? And we could have saved the current. So you have to sell them in a different package that, no, this is not burning current. This is literally, you're making of 8 minutes, you're making 16 times the current that you could have used. All right. Yes. So it makes sense to burn the current that you want because you could use the extra current for something else. You understand me? Yes. So JFF believe in a fully done. No. I don't think so. I don't think so. Well, I would not have been creating this video if I believed so. You know, sometimes people don't know, but the best way is for persons to ask. And then we can provide it, you know. Man, them run federation like them can't read fully done, back of the class mindset. But I think a lot of people don't know these things. I'm curious to know who is the top creator since you gave out the data for everything else. All right, so
I figured that would come back up somewhere.
yes, so
Yeah, it was gonna come back up. So
all right, so
it's
yes, I
not
would
me, guys. In case you're
I
wondering,
would just
it's
copy it
not
and
me.
post it right there. I will copy it and post it there so you don't have to ask the question. And that's over a year span. All right. Yes. And it calculates in an algorithm format. All right. Yes. So you don't have to ask them. You're too fast, Triple E. All right. Yes. So JD, I did not get watch the show in full this morning, but just saw that Jimenez is in the match day squad for tomorrow. So, Mr. Dre, I've done my video today and I talked about people should watch Circle Burger. So let them just watch the damn game. All right. Jeremy Miller, big up yourself. Thanks for being here. Yeah, man, we just do we thing, man. You know, we had some, we wanted some other ways to hear some things. You know, yeah. Where's the Jason? Where's
No, I
it?
was just gonna ask, Dre, do you see a match day squad for tomorrow already? That is impressive.
Yes, no, I know who this Dre is. He lied to me. Said he's a school kid, but he was lying. You know, yeah, I don't like people to lie to me. You know, no, I know who he is. Yes. Julie said, man, them not care about that JD. Man, them are go and share up them Adidas and sponsorship money. Okay. Well, if you work hard, you know, sometimes, you know, your nose have to run, you know, so you have to properly analyze things and every dollar makes something. So if I can show you a way that you lose out in a $10 million, $15 million per year, why would you want to lose out on that when you could have done something better with it? You get me? Yes, so that make that I would not jump to that Jilly. I just give you a smaller number because I said 120 Jamaican dollars and 600 Jamaican dollars. You just never listen to the extra part. that's what catch you, Jilly. So that's your problem. Unfortunately, most FA in Concacaf underestimate the fan base outside their own country. All right, well then that's why we have to bring it to them. I remember them man a benefit from this inner they don't care about, but I think it's a little bit different. Yeah, man, Triple E, it's there. The stats are always there. Big up yourself, DJ Gigs, thanks for being here. JD, are we expecting any new players to our pool? I don't know about that, and I don't even try to jump into that side. I just try to talk about what we know. I never call players. I never call players on behalf of the JFF. I never bothered people, and I never do those things. So I don't, and I don't work for the JFF. So I don't know nothing out that side. I would just wait and deal with these affairs. Let me deal with these affairs. All right, not the act like me know everything and me not depend on something. Me not interested to me. You get me? This is more interested to me, so I can do something after that. All right, yes. And after this video finished, I could do something. Massive respect, Jeremy and Blake, man. But me don't know not about a player. All right. As soon as players available, and we are sure, we will definitely give it to you. All right. So, Pastor, what say you in this conversation? Why Pastor can't just sit down, properly figure himself out before him come on the stream, Jason? Pastor, you're muted. You're muted, Pastor. Nobody hears you. Jeez, here you know.
Good morning. I am well figured out. I was trying to pick up the program on YouTube, and so I could follow the program and use my phone to communicate here.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I am sorted out, sir.
Okay. Sorry about that. Sorry.
JD, if you remember when I was on the stream and we had the conversation with Mr. Speed about the transparency issue and budgeting, and you had cited this very possibility of JFF significantly improving their revenue through this avenue. I'm going to say something that a lot of people don't know about me in reference to this. My mother, who did not go to grade 5, is the person that I learned financial management from. And when I got to university, I realized that a lot of the money management principles that she taught me were in books. I have never seen my mother reading a book, so I don't know how she know them. I've said that to say this. I watched my mother starting out with 10 pounds of cornmeal, 10 pounds of sugar, 10 pounds of flour, coconut, and spices, transform her business from selling at the school gate
So Jason, why you not?
to be earning.
So if somebody are calling or something.
They are work, so I'm gonna come up with a phone like that.
No, you can come on the panel, but you mute your mic just the same, like normal. And you just take off your camera or something, yeah. No man, that's all right, brother. That's all right, Jason, man. That's all right. That's all right. That's yeah. So me drop the link. Yeah, continue, Pastor. Let me put the link right here.
Yes, to earn more money than my father, who was at the time employed to the Jamaica Constabulary Force as a district constable and employed to Jamaica Public Service, JPS, as a dispatch officer. He had 2 government jobs, and his wife that started with 10 pounds of cornmeal, 10 pounds of sugar, 10 pounds of flour, and spices, got to the place where she was earning more money than him. I've said all of that to say this. From my mother's business, baking sugar buns and selling at the school gate, because I was the one entrusted to count off the sugar buns so she would know what she had. I used to have my own business at the audience school that I attend, out of my mother's sugar bun business. A very lucrative business I used to have. My mother never knew about that business and never got any of the profits from that business. But there's something that we have seen that the JFF continue to miss. Opportunities for making money. And this is because they operate within a caged group or a brotherhood or a friendship, many of whom do not have the expertise, the wit, or the disposition to advance outside of the what modern people would call an archaic system of operating. JD, if they miss this for so long and you openly present it to them now and they don't take it up, we can stop expending the effort, because Jamaica football will not go anywhere except we experience a cleansing of the leadership of the entire footballing program right across the spectrum of Jamaica. It is not that you're not bright, it is that you're not informed. But even in the Bible, ignorance is not an excuse because this is the information age. I firmly believe that if the JFF gets its house in order, you know, they're complaining about YouTubers doing a lot of things. If they had a substantive YouTube channel operating, they would not only be earning money, a lot of the people who sell all different kinds of narrative would become irrelevant because the truth would be there on their channel for everybody to see.
Facts.
So they are their own problem.
Well, that's a good point that you just brought up there. That's a very good point. I had it in my head a long time, but I was listening to all the bright minds, and the fact that you come out and say it, it tells me that a lot of people thinking and beyond what I was actually thinking as well. So, because remember the three things that we said, is image clean, funds, and integration. You get me? And you just talked about them cleaning their own image by just being active and actually doing the right thing. So really and truly, what we're talking about here, it might just be the game changer for them, to be honest. It might not be the highest earning, but it will still be the game changer because it would have fixed so much. And it would have transcended the development process and the feeding program, which is England. Because once you can get these guys, as what Jason said, into England feeling good enough of their experience in Jamaica, and look, all right, I love Mikel Antonio. What he said, he thought Jamaica was a footballing country. You understand me? The love, he never felt the love. If he had to come in and do the interview and entry and outside, and he saw the comments on that, because clearly he's on Instagram, because he went and commented on the JFF Instagram and also the Observer's Instagram. When he saw something and he never felt good about what he saw. You understand me? So what if he had that little experience right there at Pastor? His belief system would have changed, because he would have figured out, okay, it was coronavirus time. I couldn't really get everybody to come to the stadium. But at this point, we clearly saw that on the internet, everybody supporting me, everybody coming here telling me that, yes man, you're getting a feedback, but they had no feedback at the time. And then when they look right after, 2 days after, the track and field got the field, the stadium full with fans. So they're saying, but this is a joke thing. We're trying to get 10 million US for the country, and you couldn't even get some fans to cheer you on. You understand me? So that same thing that we talk about, the interaction and stuff, would have helped him to be more informed. Because remember, we can't expect the JFF to follow up on these things. Just like, we had the Greg Lee situation the other day, and it looks like the man don't even know that they should have followed up to all parties involved. You understand me? So these are the things them. So nobody followed up to Mikel Antonio and maybe educate them on what the situation is at this point, and kept them in the loop about the rules, and they're changing the rules daily, and the coronavirus thing. So he was outside and he never felt good, and one man not feeling good and you're not interacting with him, you know what can happen there, Jason? He goes out and tell what he believes in his head, because obviously you did not educate him, right? You did not educate him, so he's going to go out and say exactly what he has in his head. And then that stops the next person from coming in. You see, transfer of information is very much important. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we spend a lot of time worrying about, who are the people that are talking to these players to get them to come. The best candidates to talk to these players are the damn players themselves. But if we don't send them back home with anything to go and report in a positive light, then we're wasting the best chance to recruit players. Because who better to tell another player about the situation than an actual player themselves?
Facts. Yeah. So that's what Pastor said. It was brilliant. You know, I do believe that guys, once you come in, please do smash the like button. Get us over 100 and let we aim to 200 just the same. We know you're passing through. It's Friday. We totally respect the amount of people turn up in the little time, but obviously it's not a subject that they're interested in. But I can tell you, hit a like on it if you're not even interested in it. You know why? Because these are the videos that need to go there. You understand me? Not the Boogie Yaga. Even though we have not been creating any Boogie Yaga videos of lately. You know, it's much more organized and well thought out. You know, yes. Imaxit football. Growing up in Jamaica, the idea of asking questions was considered to be dunce, and now I notice it's very hard to get people on that mindset. Which, if you don't know something, you just don't know. Well, that is a big problem in a DJ gigs because you're gonna learn. So that means the thing that we talked about the other day, saying that our own mindset in our culture hold we back then. We cannot be informative. We cannot ask a question. So what can we really do then? So how could we close that how could we fix that problem then?
That's why I don't know, because I've heard people say, you know, if you go Jamaica and you're going like you're too smart, you get burned out for that. If you don't know something and you ask a question, this man said them burn you out for that. So I don't
Yeah.
understand what you're supposed to do.
So what you're
And
supposed
I
to do?
don't and how can we fix that? Why? It's just a mentality, JD. It's a mentality. I mean, people have to not be so willing to not know things.
Jason,
Because information is too easy to get, right? So Pastor, maybe you can help with someone with your line of work. You know, this is something that you try to do every week with your congregation. So what do you say about this type of thing, Pastor?
when I got my first pastoral district, this is after I would have been sent to work with, if my memory serves me right, 5 different senior pastors. When I did the feasibility study of the population within my pastorate, I realized that there is a underdevelopment of the human resources within the pastorate. But at the same time, I had over 3 dozen high school students who essentially were holders of 5 to 13 subjects. So they are not short of academic qualifications, but that academic qualification is not taking them anywhere. That is a tragedy. So I went about having dialogue with their parents and ensuring that all the possible opportunities to garner funding from the conference that we're a part of, from the local church that I pastor, from every family member that they could possibly turn up money from. But we were not going to be satisfied with not even one of them not going to college. And it didn't matter what you want to go to college to study. Just that you are not allowed to sit down after your parents send you to high school, pay for your high school tuition, and you get 5 or more subjects to sit down and not go to college. Because the outcome is this. Any boy that called to you, and this is in relation to the girl, and you say hello, the first opportunity you get to go in your clothes, you have a baby. So that is going to keep the cycle perpetuated going on. So I saw that early within that pastorate. And so the records will show that in my time as pastoring them, in the history of that pastoral district, the most students left and went to tertiary institutions. Now they've had some very good pastors before me. but this was my immediate circumstance. I wasn't going to allow not even one of them to fall through the crack, JD. Now, there are some things that I did personally, but that is not important to the question that we're dealing with, so I'm not even going to mention that. The reality is this. When you are placed in a management position, the first thing you must do is a feasibility study of what you are expected to be managing. Other than that, you are not a manager. You see how you could come up with the information, JD, as to what is the breakdown for everything, possibility, earning, and what exists? Mm-hmm. Even if you are not the person recorded at the top of the list of doing the YouTube work, this video is going to springboard you above the person. Because you are doing the work. And it might not springboard you in the numbers, but it's going to springboard you within the fan base. Because everybody is going to see that it is you that do the work. There are things that I did in my pastorate that it's not everybody can come and do it. God don't make no two person off of the same mold. When he make you for your mold broke and dash, where a different mold to make the next person. Even if you have 7 brothers, the 7 of you are not going to be the same on all spectrum. So nobody can go replicate what I do in my pastoral district. You have to go do what is best for you to do, for you to get productive outcomes. Now that is one way to do it. Education. And JD, for all those who don't like your championing of the cause that the footballers need to get football education and the coaches need to get education and certification and that thing, it will kill them. Because that is one of the major ways to improve the situation. Education. So who don't like it, go on the building top and jump off and die. Because if you stagnate, you're going to die anyway. I did agriculture. Stagnation stinks. There is no life within the Dead Sea. You know why? Because it is stagnant. It just takes in, nothing comes out. No fish not living there. The salt content is so high, not living there. So if you want to grow, you have to become like a river or a regular sea where you are taking in, you're putting out. There is productivity, there's recycling of life, and there is improvement of life. I bet you, JD, you have never seen a barracuda longer than 6 feet. A barracuda fish.
I've never tried.
You have not even tried to see one.
I look at the TV, I am okay.
But not even on TV, you don't see a 6 feet one. Because you don't watch National Geographic long enough.
Okay, well, I'm never trying to.
But hear what happened. But hear what happened, JD. Mm-hmm. I stand up and watch a colleague of mine when I was down in the Keys in the middle of the sea hook one longer than 6 feet. And with a 45-pound steel rod, we couldn't bring him in. He cut it off and gone. I've said that to say this. If you do not associate with persons outside of your little place where you're born and grow, you're not developing. So the JFF need to transcend the borders of all these 50-plus-year-old men and reassociate so that they can learn from the younger people. By the way, the Bible didn't make a mistake when it said a child shall lead them. So except you keep refreshing your circle, you're digressing. The JFF need to be revamped, reinvented, and come again. So Mr. Ricketts, I would from a biblical position tell you that you need some young associates around you, or you should not be the president.
Yeah.
because you're not really going anywhere without new ideas. And young people are not short of ideas, they're only short of support.
Yeah.
Most of the people that left my pastoral district and went to college ended up getting scholarships. They only needed support. And I'm talking people doing what they call it, actuary science. No dum-dum can do actuary science. In fact, I don't think Jamaica have 4 actuary science that the government is paying. Actuary scientists that the government is paying. Mr. Speed should be here. He would be able to tell you the high quality of academic or education that that person have, because him being a chartered accountant, because he did say he's not an economist, he would tell you that the actuary is the one in the financial system that earned the money. Mr. Speed don't get enough money compared to an actuary.
Okay, Mr. Speed will just pop out of nowhere,
Yes, he can pop up, but when he pop up, JD, he can pop up, but when he pop up, he won't tell you, say, we pastor just say, achoo, he no make enough money, like, he probably make about quarter of the money we want actuary make.
But I'm just saying, because he has his goons, and he said he has his, surprisingly, Mr. Speed said he has his algorithm tracker. So Mr. Speed said he has an algorithm. People calls his name, he turns up. I don't believe it's true. I don't believe it's true. Because I know it's not true. I know it's not true. But I'm just saying. Look him set up himself, because
if it was true, he could have used them same people and figure out when to post and what to post.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Jason.
And
So
I have a
know it's
YouTube
true,
channel,
but sometimes you have to be careful of what you say. Sometimes you have to be careful of what you say, because it might just turn back on you. You understand me? Yes.
JD, has he come back on the program since he was here when we had the conversation about him not making it? Has he come back? He realized the need to be careful with what he said. No, he has spoken to you on the phone. He has spoken to you, But in terms of coming back on the channel, he has not returned.
No, but really and truly, I never call him back. Because remember, it's the last time.
You never call him that time either, JD.
Yeah, but it was something to do, something to sort out. That was the whole thing. If I don't have anything to sort out, I'm not going to call people. I can't just call Mr. Speed and say, come here, hang out on my channel. Me not do videos like that. I have to have meaning behind the videos. I ain't doing it. I don't have time for hang out after me a partner. Me have things to do in life, Yes, so Boss Thomas said it look like once the man them finish play a game and go back to their club, nobody care about them or even communicating with them. Yes, that might just be the case. We're trying to change it. Pastor, that was good store. That can motivate our story. Okay. All right. Chris says favoritism and links does it. Educate and expose. Yes, man. No, the Barracuda thing. I don't know much about this. I'm not gonna pretend. You get me? Because one thing we don't need to do. We don't need to take up things on our heads, and then in the end we get caught up in it. You get me? So I'm not going to go out and talk about I'm trying to help save a crocodile and catch a barracuda and all of those. Why? I am already safe in my house. Why should I go to a sea? Do all of those things just to say I'm doing something? Sometimes I'm here, guys, and I just hear a man call my phone. And he might tell me the weird people, Jamaican people, have the weirdest stories me ever know in my life, because I've gotten the chance now to hear from everybody. And one of my friends from Macedonia will call me and talked about a little crackers and a story. When Jamaicans telling a story, oh my God. You have one man. I would prefer not to call his name. But anytime he calls my phone, I know it's going to be some devastating news. I don't know how this man do so much things in one day. So every day he has a separate and apart fantastic news. He's in the space. So you might know who I'm talking. I have never heard a man with so much ridiculous takes. So I will just stay and live normal, because I want to be the normal one.
It's definitely a Jamaican trait. Me can
No, I
remember
know
growing
it's
up.
a Jamaican problem.
Me can remember growing up. Me used to always go watch match down at Arnett. And there's a brother down there that used to always go link my father and Mr. Boss, what go on, Ray. Me personally hear the man tell my father say mother dead 15 times.
15 different days, 15 different ways.
So trust me, we're not easy when it come on to tell a story, big man.
Yeah, man. I learn it the hard way, man. Because me if I wonder if the man drink.
I know say that same man, that same man is still at Arnett because the other day when Jamaica was playing the game, me hear the man voice in the background of the stream. So the same man still there. Still there. And anybody who go watch match down at Arnett supposed to know me attack. I'm the loudest man in Jamaica.
All right. And DJ Gigs, big up on yourself, people. As you come in, smash the like button and leave your thoughts in the comments.
Jason,
One second, Pastor, I'm just trying to make sure because remember we are in the 2 hour margin. We might just give them a half an hour more, but nothing more than the 2.5 hours. Yeah, right. So we talked about Jamaica Reggae Boyz, highly rated. Obviously, maybe it's not the one the Reggae Boyz them that you're talking about. It's different. So you pull up that side of the video. We talked about games to watch. Keep your eyes on. And included those games, we had one included, which is the Cercle Bruges in English. Watch that one because Tyreek Jimenez might be a part of that game, so look out for that. We did the entire story on how you reach to that level. So if you want to track it, you could go back to the next one. And then now we are talking about the JFF social and technology problems. Then we drop it down to give you some sub heading, and the sub headings were image clean. So the clean image of them are to get their image better, funding, and integration for the players them. So all of those problems that we had. All right. Yes. So we are on the social and technology side. All right. So that's why we came to this part. So if you just came in and wondering what's up, that was what we were talking on. All right. So let me go through the rest of the story. All right. DJ Gigs says, Imaxit football and everyone who got the information. What can we do to help Jamaica football to where it needs to be? We need to try get the right person and force it down them throat. That's on our way still, but yes, we have to force it down their throats. Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Devon Smith. How are you doing? Just coming in. We just explained the topic, so hope you got it. All right, massive respect. All right. Tell a story and believe a story. Believe me, man. TEDxter, I heard a man tell me that he does not drink. He does not drink. And then I hear 15 hours later, I heard him tell a next man how much alcohol him drink. And then I'm saying, I wonder if a lie might tell the person. And then 2 days later, I saw him drinking some alcohol. And he said he does not drink in his lifetime. It's not a thing. It's just a sham. So I'm telling you, the stories are fantastic. Every day it's some new stories. All right, him can't loader than the pastor. Oh no, man. No man.
Say as him said. The only reason I say
Jason,
because I know pastor and they are Jamaica no more. That's all.
All right, Jason. When JD told me to hold on, I was going to correct you. There are not many persons that are louder than I am. Not many. But that is as a result of an 8-year-old boy dreaming that he was a pastor and married to a nurse. And for some reason, I did some strange things to develop my diaphragm muscles and my voice, like laying on my back with a stack of books across my diaphragm and singing and trying to get loud. So I can project my voice miles.
Up to the length of Jamaica.
Yeah. You see, I have dreams of the spirit of prophecy in telling us about the life and teachings of Jesus. Said that Jesus singing on the hillside of his father's carpenter shop could be heard 3 to 5 miles down the road. I have dreams of being able to do that, you see.
Just 3 to 5 miles. You
You
sure?
don't you don't
Yes.
have you don't have you don't have many more dreams to go.
No, not just 3 to 5 miles
4 miles right
without
now.
any kind of PA system assistance. Just
Pastor, you
pure
have one
voice.
more mile to go. Trust me. You're 4 miles solid. Trust me. But JD, back to the topic at hand. At this point, the JFF is either just going to continue at some point hire someone who knows what they're doing here, or they're going to reach a point where they just say, "You three YouTubers, you guys come here and run this for us because you have the following, you have the faces of trust, you are the voices that people come to. You guys do this stuff for us and go for it." Because at the rate that they're going, again, more clerical issues than wins. Like, I feel like that's their solution. Until and either they find someone in their communications department who says, this is important, we need to find people. They're either just going to let it slide as it's been going, or they're going to wait till someone gets so big that now they actually are pushing them. And then they'll come to them and say, hey, if we give you a budget of 15,000 American dollars, for example, can you run all our socials and just get that done? Run interviews, run programs, do all that, create content for us. Because they've not done anything in between. Like, while Pastor was preaching and still sending, his greetings to the Southern Conference, the Northern Conference, and the Eastern Conference, like, I decided, JFF Live. JFF Live has been dead for years, so can't look at a website. I went to JFF YouTube. Nothing new in the last 6 years. So what else is there?
That's an excited. That's an excited. So let me touch that side now because we want to make sure this video is informative. So what we just drop in the chat, IS amount of views and everything, it still stays the same outside YouTube and also the normal social media, which is the Instagram, the Facebook, the Twitter. It stays the same way. The range upgraded. So instead of the 0.8, it would have started from $1.2 to $7 on the website, and that would have massively increased to around 200 up to 1,000 ad per thousand clicks. So for me, that's where I think, and that's the location that gives you the ability to cap people. And what I talked about capping people, like pay to enter, pay per view, you could use the websites and do it like that. So if they wanted to maximize their revenue, they could have gone down that route of saying that pay per view for that one. You get me? So everybody, it doesn't matter if it's $1 or $2, that's the way you would have to go with it. There, you get me? So it would not just be one medium you're getting everything from. It has to be a big effort, and you have to know everything about everything in order to get it done. So I do agree that the first thing they would have to do is to get somebody different to manage it, and the first thing you have to start to do is read. Yeah, because you have to still understand, you have to keep up to date. These things updates every month, so you have to always keep update with all of these things. And but it's beneficial because the thing is, you're coming from $0. And from you're coming from $0, $50 is always better. It's just the effort that you're willing to put in change everything. You get me? So for the solution side, like the game just pass. I think the easy well could have gotten 25,000 clicks normal, and then bring it over to their YouTube channel delayed. All right, so 25,000 clicks normal on their channel. And if people worried about people scamming their content, you have worldwide identifier that can scrape them off. It's not hard. You get me? So if someone thief your content in 2 seconds, it's down, and they don't have a YouTube channel. Yeah, you get what I'm saying? So you don't have to worry about those things. If you just read the necessary things, on that game just a while ago, the Trinidad game, a rivalry. And they sold it properly because I saw a lot of people in the stadium. So if they could have gotten 20,000 clicks at $3-4, each simple as that, $3-4. Look at how much revenues they would have actually collected. And remember, they're getting paid for the clicks, They're getting paid for the clicks, and they're getting paid to play at the same time. You realize what I'm saying? So you're getting, so if you get 25,000 hits, you start the 1,000, and you rotate that and you see how much money that is, and then you have to pay the $4 per 25,000 people. Or well, obviously, some will try to find ways to scam it. All right, no problem. So out of the 25,000, 12,000 paid. 12,000 times 4, you see how much money that. And that is just for one set of game. So I think they might be missing out on Easywell. What I would say, Easywell, if it's a big business like that, obviously they don't have to put out their money, but they have to put out their money regardless, because I heard the Gen Sec, we have to pay for the stadium, we have to pay for everything. That not have nothing to do with what we are talking about. That's in the recouping department, because you weren't doing anything before. You weren't doing anything before, So everything that we are telling you is completely different, You get me? Yes. So I think based off that, between what we talked about earlier and this, yearly, I think there might be, if they can stage 4 or 5 games and have the interest around it, I think they might be missing out closely 80 million Jamaican dollars.
Easy
80 million Jamaican
and
dollars.
that is a very, you could even say way more, but I understand you're being a little, but yeah.
Yeah.
For sure, JD, for sure, 80 million not hard.
JD,
So Mr.
as conservative as you have been with your figures that you use, think 80 million Jamaican dollars, which is probably 25 to 30% of the average that they will earn. I'm not troubling your figures, but think 80 million Jamaican dollars being able to pump in the JPL, which is just one little subsection of what JFF do.
They say they sponsor the JPL, and it's 10 million that they put in placed in the JPL. So I'm gonna show you something. And when the CCCC was actually held, they wanted $2.5 million to take the private jet to bring the kids, they guide them over. So and they had to go to Babsy Grange in order to do so. You understand me? Those capital, you see what I'm talking about. So when you're talking about 80, you're talking about 2 million and 10 million to run a competition.
That's where I was going. That's exactly where I was going, JD. So in terms of a marketing manager, a financial manager, and an accountant at JFF, if the JFF do not jump onto this, all of these positions that have to do with finance within the JFF is obsolete and irrelevant. Because, and I'm going to go back to my mother again, who never got to grade 5. And it's when I reach university, I realize that terms like equitable relations, when my mother used, did in a book. Because, you see, there cannot be a dollar value attached to treating a Michael Antonio well. Because you're not spending no money to build that relationship. But when Michael Antonio goes to England, and despite Ivan Toney's dream to represent England, and sells him the program, and said, Bridget, come met me and you go to Jamaica. And Ivan Toney eventually turns up because he believes that Jamaica will treat him better or more fair. The relationship will be more equitable. Jamaica cannot quantify that in terms of dollar value. You understand where I'm going, JD? There are certain things that we needed to have done, certain things that we need desperately to be doing right now, that if JFF start it tomorrow morning, they would have corrected more than 50% of all the problems and issues that the federation is having by just starting. They don't even have to be good at it. I heard Jason saying that the best seller of the program are the players themselves. When I'm doing a crusade, one of the first persons I want on my team are persons who were baptized from a previous evangelistic effort. The new converts. Look how many new players Jamaica brought in that we have not utilized any of them. Not even one of them. So the coach now, in trying to use Mariappa to bridge some gap, is placed behind the 8 ball, then literally set him up. Whereas if he had Bobby Reed, Michael Antonio, Johnson, Lay, Bell, if everybody was satisfied, he wouldn't have no problem to go get new players. New players would be calling him. Remember at the time that West Ham, when Michael Antonio was unhappy, there were 3 guys that were at the age where they could factor in our under 20 program at West Ham. At the same time, all of who I am sure look up to Michael Antonio. If Michael Antonio went and influenced them, at least one of them would have reached Jamaica.
I don't know how I become a bad pitney when we're just here. And guys, you see, once you come in, like I said, property. What's his name again? Professional Pro Club. You just remove him. You don't even bother have I'm not even entertaining these stupid people anymore. Kind of leave it alone, because we are trying to fix a thing. And I'm not going to entertain you. You come the other day or joke you around and all sort of thing. You come back today with it. You realize some people that's removed from the channel, we don't really want to back here, because they don't really serve the purpose. All right, because we're doing education and we're doing solution to things. All right, yes, and we're done. So if you can't deal with those things, you don't need to be here. You get me? Because we don't waste time. We know this company internet. Sit down, because we're not doing a life. We have things that do in our life, and we take our time out to have a conversation. And I thought that the public would have loved to get in, chime in on this one and give you some take. Surprisingly, I never saw you come up with Professional Pro Club, because you have nothing of value to add to nothing. All right, and I would like that. So if you don't have it, don't come, don't turn up. All right, we have no time to waste. All right, yeah, man. Let me continue. So let me stick on that one. So you think with all of this then? So with all of this, so what we have discussed in the latter part of the thing is to say that if they extend themselves, which is big, as what my boy said, Pagan said, Rome was not built in a day. So definitely we can take that one up and move on with it. Marcus, big up yourself. Thanks for passing through. Yeah, man. Rome was not built in a day. That is definitely true. But at least once you start, these things will not take so long to put in place. So at least you could see results immediately, and then you could start add the tools around it. All right, like to strengthen up your thing. You get me? Manners, mad vibes. Thanks for being here. So Pastor, even though Pagan said that, I would still say that if they sit down properly and look into it, they could start earning instant. And when we say earning instant, we're talking about 3 things: their image clean, their funds, and their integration, which is that the job for the Gensec, because that's what he went on 70,000 channel talking about. If he took up something like this, that would have cleaned everything without him walking around telling people a million things. You get me? Because
JD,
what he needs to do, because it cleans
JD,
the image.
Despite what you're responding to that was just said, I use the analogy of my mother starting over with 10 pounds of cornmeal, 10 pounds of sugar, 10 pounds of flour, and her spices. Within, you're not going to make $80 million in the first day.
No,
But,
you can't make that.
but, hold on, but hold on. Within the first month, my mother was not buying sugar and flour at the shop. She was going to the wholesale to go buy one bag of flour, one bag of sugar, which is a bag of flour is 100 pound, a bag of sugar is 110 pound, and 4 bags of cornmeal, 25 pounds each. You understand what I'm saying? Within 1 month, you are going to see immediate positive out of it. The moment you start, you're going to see immediate positive, because when she made the products very nice, so when she got to the school, the hungry children bought them. She priced it where children from poor families would be able to buy it. I don't know where you are from in the world. Some people call it suck suck, some call it skyrock, some call it all kind of stuff. Where you mix drinks, put it in a bag, tie it and freeze it. Whatever you call it, my mother used to sell those. And she priced it where children coming to school from poor families would be able to purchase it. Within a month, she was not buying 10 pounds of nothing. Oh yes, 10 pounds of butter. So, you're not going to see $80 million in the first day. But you are going to see profit, and substantial profit, so that you are able to calculate your day pay. And so it makes sense for you to go another day and another day, and you continue to and you build around you. It got to the point where when she's going to the school, carrying things to the school to sell, somebody have to go with her because she is not able to carry everything. And after that, she started sending us out, because she had 8 children, 6 of whom are boys. So she started sending us out networking, where she would have produce at several shops in neighboring communities for sale. So she wasn't only selling at the school gate, she was selling produce in several communities. Now this is a little woman with grade 4 education, big JFF, with people with degrees. Should be able to do better than Blossom Eunice Blake.
All right.
Because on the grade 4 she go.
All right. Sorry about that. But yeah, very good story. Very good one. Pagan says, don't forget transparency, JD. Yes, that is true. That is true. JD, why don't you get the Gensec and give him this kind of info? No, Big Boss. That's why it's a conversation came up here. And we're having it, and then we are taking information from everybody. So it's not something completed. We are not perfect. That's why we said all of the bright people them start get involved and give it everything, so we can put together as a brain and come up with something. That was what the video all about. But you just turn up, Omar. It's not that the problem. You just turn up, and we are already 2 hours. We don't depend stream for the whole day because we have other things to do. This is the second stream I do for the day, and it's because I had to finish it. So that's why. True pastor. I saw my grandmother started out with little shed pan, and by the end of the year, she built her own shop. Yes, man. So for people that talking about Rome don't build in a day, if you never have nothing, you have to start build something. So it doesn't have anything to do with even Rome. But if you have $0 or 0 coming in, and then you get $2, it's just the effort. Always remember, it's just the effort behind it. So if you're willing to use that effort, everything is good. Because you're coming from $0, and that's what I've always said. Sky Juice it name. What kind of suck the man them? What? Oh my God, Pastor.
Yeah,
From
bag juice, bag juice.
from your start, you must have a finish plus success. Yeah, man. Pagan says, the point is to grow and be adaptable. Yeah, that is true. But at the end of the day, if you don't understand from the start, you cannot adapt. That's the same thing we talk about today with Tyreek. Oh, Zimenez them adapt and I do better. Um, uh,
JD,
than Tyreek them would do because they learn to be adaptable from earlier. Maybe they are not as talented as Tyreek when he left, but because he was not adaptable, everything fell to the wayside. You get me? So I understand what you're saying, but you have to still know as well. You have to still know, so you go there with the adaptability, but also the knowledge as well. You get me? You can't just go
JD,
there adaptable and just pick people, as well Africans would have say, and pay the next man for do something and you keep and lose out of what you should have been gaining. So if you keep on learning, you can adapt and improve what you're doing as well as adapt to the times. Because adapting, don't necessarily bring success. It just means the upgrade to the next threshold. You understand me? So you're in the next box. That it never really described what you're doing in the next box. They can just go for the next bus stop. Because you're able to adapt, say, go over the next bus stop. But what you do over the next bus stop, you need to know which bus you're waiting on. You get me? That is a big difference. So that's why I wanted to go with education.
JD. Two things. Since we're dealing with a subject that education is the premise. One, the fellow that tried to speak about the sky juice or skyrock. Sky juice is shaved ice in a bag that is not tied. In some places in town in Jamaica, they call the suck sky juice too. They also call it sky rock. So based on where you are in Jamaica, the same thing has several different names. You were mentioning something about being in a class and we wanting to be productive and be talking positive things. JD, in every institution I have gone to in Jamaica, including tertiary level, there's always this one bad person in the class. Then bust balloon, then creep back a stop up on the floor, then do everything to distract you. Some of them are very bright, but some of them did not come to class with the intention to learn nothing. Some of them are sent there by the devil to see who they can trip up and prevent from progressing. So you see on this channel, those who like to come in the chat or to forward in the chat, since whole heap of Jamaican on the stream, to forward in the chat with a destructive mindset. I know you. You are the devil's agent. But this is the news for you. Greater is he that is within me than he that is in the world. All of you little demon possessed people, know that the blood of Jesus still ransoms all. So keep the destructive little mindset to yourself if you are not prepared for change. Because once you come into the community of truth and righteousness, you will be changed or you will be dead.
Pastor, I know you're trying to go through your sermon notes because it's Friday nights. I know this is your test run. You're getting ready for the fire sermon tomorrow. But you lost a few of us here. But we're with you. But
I don't know. I saw
JD don't have Pastor on a Wednesday or a Friday or a Tuesday because we'll think it's prayer meeting, members meeting, or Friday night meeting before sermon. So
Africans sounding like a bad Adventist. You know the days of the week where the Adventist church have meetings. You are one of the backsliders, Africans.
Don't put me in that category. Don't you put me in that category. We're here talking social media here and the JFF.
Let me go through some of the comments because Pastor is something else. Thanks everyone for being here. If you are new, definitely subscribe. We talked about some things. We talked about a breaking news from very early on in this one that Jimenez might be not starting, but feet on the roster tomorrow for Cercle Bruges, so you could watch it in Belgium. We'd give you the feedback, the backstory on it as well in a previous video. Yes, so the thing unfolded as though we had said it in the previous video, but we don't go over the top. So we keep on giving it exactly what it is at the time, Yes, and we talked about a few more transfers, and then we look at some of the problems in what JFF could solve immediately. So turn what they could do, what they have now, into money, to solve some of their problems. So if they have infrastructure problem, maybe those same capital could go back to that, and at the same time, getting that capital, it could lead them to clean their image. So nobody can say they are doing this, nobody can say they are doing that. You understand me? Yes. All right. Let me try to call here. Hello, caller. How are you doing?
Yes, JD. Yeah, Pastor, right, man. I'm listening to you.
Oh, you're hearing Pastor. So why Pastor turn a big star?
Yeah, man. Now listen to the program, but him right when him say suck, man. Because when we used to go country, in Kingston we call it different. When I used to go country, they used to make some people used to use syrup, some people use flavor aid back in those days, and make it thing. So I suck then really can't say a person where I say this and that, you don't know him as a man. So Pastor right, suck then call it in the country.
No, I won't be able to go to that match tomorrow. Because I obviously we are on vacation time, and I took a lot of my free time to cover certain videos and certain times. Yeah. So that's why. So I can't do that tomorrow because I was already busy, but I try to keep you updated. But don't worry yourself, CPT Rico. Just take your time, my brother. All right. Yes, I can't do it tomorrow, but hopefully he plays well. I get any game or keep on playing well in training. You get me? Yes, but I explained to you the situation. So hopefully he gets the next opportunity and I can make the next one. But for this time, I have something tomorrow planned. You get me? And I wanted to go to the Netherlands one, but I've not heard back from the Kingston Academy people. So I can't even fit that in, because sometimes you have to fit the things what you need to do per day. You can't just get up and say I'm going somewhere. CPT Rico. When you see me do videos in a specific times, I do the video, and if you realize, you get me? Yes. But CPT Rico, we will do things in the future, so don't worry yourself. An immediate future as well. So maybe next week, you never may know. All right? Yes. So just look out, man. All right? Yeah, we don't rush things, because we don't do this. We do it for the likes and the videos, but we're not desperate to do it for the views, We do it for the likes. So we press the likes. Yes. So we will go there. Don't worry yourself, CPT Rico. All right? Yeah, man. Go ahead, Carla.
Yeah, JD, but when you was talking about the money that JFF was giving to get it from FIFA, but Mr. Speed on our program, Mr. Speed says they get far way more money than that, man. Because I was telling him about the JFF don't give them 280,000.
But
so they get far way more
but big boss, I told you they get 5 million every 4 years.
Yeah, but to when I say it seems like you're getting more money than that.
And they said it's gonna raise 15%. They are not getting any more money than that. So you saying 200,000 every what?
No, every 3 months. But him say they getting far way more money than that.
But 200,000 every 3 months, and I always said $5 million a year. No, way more money than that. Not 12 months in a year. So if you put 3 times 12, no, 3 times 12.
It's not more, JD. 250,000 every 3 months.
No, he said 200,000. He said 200,000. Oh, 200, but he said 200,000 first, Carlton. Okay. You can't mix up. You can't mix up.
JD, look at the calculation. It's 1 million per year. 1 million. It's 1 million. 1 million and something per year to get $5 million over 4 years.
Yes, I know, but 200,000 don't add up. That 200,000 over 3 months would not add up. 200,000 over 3 months would have been 800,000. So that would have been way, way less. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
but him said
He said 280 still.
he said he tell me today say he getting far way more than that.
Okay, if he's getting far, but maybe you said it just over a monthly basis. So if you said, oh, you get 280,000 per month,
It,
you know nothing more and just say something. So, but a $5 million, I know that they gave FIFA. FIFA gave them.
JD, look at the maths. The figure he's quoting is that they divide it up in quarterly installments. It is the same $5 million. Is it JD? It's the same $5 million that they divide.
Didn't man say 200,000? No, that
No, he said 280. JD,
so
I heard him say 280.
why you argue? The man admits say 200, he admits say first. I say 200 can't work. Okay, he said two, but you never.
You said I said 280, but I said 280.
All right.
I heard him say 280, JD.
JD, I said 280, JD, and you said 200. I say, all right. I said 280.
Okay.
280, I said. You understand?
Yeah, may I go check it? May I go check it back? But if you tell him 280 and him say more than that, well, a fee in business that I just know that a $5 million they were getting. Period.
No, Mr. Speed tell me say they're getting far way more than that.
Okay, well, if it's far more, way more than that, and they can't do a good job, that means they're terrible. All right. Yes, but I don't think it's far away more than that because it is printed documents. The only difference on that listing for the last World Cup was they had relief funds, relief grants. So maybe that's the only thing you could have talked about. JFF JFF couldn't get more than the 5 million. It's not possible because other people never that get.
I said I asked him about the 280,000.
Wait, but are you keeping on top of the 280,000? I confused me. No, I confuse you. I can't confuse the man here. Just say 5 million every 4 years. But Carlton, please, next time just say $5 million. How much money you get every 4 years? Just say that. And then you make him tell you, and then we can chop it up, Carlton. Because if you keep on walk around with this 150,000, 280,000, 700, the people. No, I know.
Carlton.
You know, hear me.
Carlton.
The man them sometimes, if you don't say the 5 million, if you don't say the 5 million, the man them not gonna know. The man them not gonna know. So just please.
Carlton. JD, 1 minute. JD, 1 minute. Carlton.
Yeah. Yes, Pastor.
The $280,000 every 3 months is going to be $4,480,000. So it is actually about 285 or 80 something $1,000 every 3 months, and over that would give you the $5 million. So what Mr. Speed was doing, he was speaking to it because he has to run this spreadsheet. He has to look at it in terms of the spreadsheet. Income and expenditure report is going to have the money in installments, not as a $5 million deposit. So he's speaking to it that way. There's no way the 200 and something $1,000 every 3 months work out to more than the $5 million. It will not translate. So just pure running figures. He's literally speaking about the $5 million, but he's breaking it up in installments every 3 months. It's not going to be more than the $5 million.
Carlton, I know you want a long time. Carlton, I can't call for finalists. I said next time. So Carlton, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna figure it. I'm gonna get the figure for you, the exact figure.
No. But when it that is not say get the exact figure because no. But when you check that by 4, you know, a $1,120,000 that per year.
Mm-hmm.
That when you get that per year, and if I 180 or 180, whatever, but it's 180. But the man said that he was explaining to me, people said they're getting more money than that.
Yeah, but Pastor said
Because
that,
I wasn't confused. He never confused because it's a speed of his head pan him body. So when I check everything right, and he was saying, "You're getting more than that." And I said, "Thank you for telling me, son, you're getting more than that,
okay, so
Mr.
why
Speed."
never tell
Because
you how much, but no, you know, Carlton. Carlton.
no, in talk how much, you know, in talk how much.
So why you know
Him,
tell how much? No, me go write it down.
no, he was breaking it down because he was breaking it down, but to me never write down not when he was breaking them down to me. But he tell me how much. He was breaking it, him break it down and tell me for the woman, them when him spend, so I was saying everything, so I was putting out everything. Straight and plain was putting
Yeah,
it out.
but no, but
And he said,
Carlton. Oh,
"Them
Carlton, hold on, Carlton. I know what you're talking. They get 5 million, Carlton. Let me tell you what happened because we are the report. They got 5 million from FIFA. Period. That was just for developmental funds. Period. You understand me? Right here. So just take out the 5 million. Done. So whatever installment you're talking about, the 5 million done. They had 500,000. That's $1 million they had to claim for the girl football that they could only use on the girl football alone. Done. All right. Yes, that is done. Then the girls qualified. So that added more money. So it could easily be $8 to $8.5 million, Carlton. But that is not FIFA direct money they gave to you. That is because of the COVID system and the new installment system, the grants that they put
Yes,
it on.
JD.
We had videos on that.
Exactly.
We had factual videos on it, So we
Yeah.
know. Yeah, so that's why the money gets up to that. But what we're talking about was just the FIFA money that they gave you without you do nothing. You understand me? Without a woman or nothing. There's a FIFA money that you're allowed to get. It was 5 million. That will increase around
yes, no,
15%.
but when you have to look into JD, you can say yes, it's 5 million, but when you check it like say 200, like you said, 280,000, they then get every 3 months. Then if they get that, remember, you know, people can come up. Why you have to hear Mr. Speed say, listen, when you say getting more, them cannot get that. You can't talk about 5 million when you get over 4 because FIFA can come with the next rule and it start then raise the money to 300,000 every 3 months. So all those things you have to look on. So you have to break it down for the more or FIFA give them.
Okay,
If them are give them,
dear,
so you can talk about the 5 million
but
that for
Carlton,
you.
That's what I was saying to you. When we were talking about the 5 million, that was just the 5 million. We were talking about that. That's the one installment. It's several installments. FIFA give them for different reasons. But remember, we only could have talked on that because we weren't talking about the ladies part. Because the ladies part, we know that they couldn't take over and put in no other development more than girls football. You understand me? The first $5 million could go over several other places. You get me? So it is still restricted, but wider restrictions. You understand me?
No, because all right, and your man said they have a under 15 program coming up where them are get the next money if it's supposed to fund that under 15 program differently,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes,
So when I said what he's saying, listen, me only I tell you what like what me know, but him in the seat, so him know where I do. So him I break it down and give me a full more understanding.
Yeah, but Carlton, say Carlton, if you pull back the video when you call me at the same as similar, no, me not give you the exact figure because I him have it. So I understand him I give the exact figure. But at the same thing, me that try to tell you from day one here. Coming to tell us the 5 million was the 5 million that's handed out from FIFA, period. That never had nothing to do with the girl funding. Remember that girl funding, argument started over that girl funding in Jamaica. Remember that, Carlton? You remember that money? What do you mean that talk about? Oh, you never big alabalu even YouTube about the girl money where nobody never know nothing about and a lady have to come in and them have to work out.
I wasn't even talking about that because what him when I saying to me, because I said to me if them won't just look on that money alone, if I said just like them take a charter flight to Mexico, we cost so much money and whatsoever. And then he was explaining to me, say, listen, it's more money than that where you say him say it's not that more money where you have to, more money than that.
Okay.
And I said, and he was going to give me the way differently from whatsoever. I say, all right, me say fair play to you, Mr. Speed, to come and attack it truth. That's when no one say I'm more money than that.
Yeah, but
I'm saying that to say that.
yeah, but all I'm saying is, Carlton, the 5 million was the truth as well too. But he might just give you additional money and additional thing, which is very good, so you can understand that is several different packages. And a better way to get it, you go on the FIFA website and look at any one of their latest installment from Jamaica, and they could get additional exact funds. So go there as well and check it up, and then you can understand. Because I do believe that you are interested in this, you know.
It's like a 5 million now, JD, where you say like where them spend over 4 years. For instance, now. Mr. Chung, this just come there now. Mr. Chung, you can't tell Mr. Chung say 5 million and get over 4 years. You have to tell Mr. Chung say the money where he get from them when he come in. You can't know where with them when I get that time, you know. You can say 5 million over a period of year, but when he come, he might see a different figure and say, no, this is what happened. So
Carlton, Carlton, I have to know all of the previous backdate. He's an accountant, and him have remember every year, you know, you have to send in the previous year, you know. So him coming, him have to also do those backlogs as well, you know. So he has to know how much money was in and what is there now.
Yes, of course, him know what money in. But what I'm saying, if you come and talk to him, all right, me come in, all right, Pastor there now, and me give Pastor a job, and for the first 3 months, Pastor get 280,000. Me only can talk to Pastor about fee money when him getting a fee and when him approve, when I approve of, you know. Me can't go to him say, oh, you're getting 5 million, and Pastor not get 5 million because Pastor just
Carlton, your reference to use me as an example serves both good and bad for the argument that you're having. A pastor going into a new pastoral district, if the pastor before me was doing proper due diligence, I would get, as was in my case, Pastor Montague gave me what is called an exit report. His exit report would have all the projects that the district is undertaking, those that are at different levels of fulfillment, all of the projected programs that they intend to have, and what had transpired over his tenure within the pastoral district. So I would have a background, I would also have a present and up-to-date data, and I would have the future plans, which may very well change based on my style of leadership, based on the direction that the district, the membership decides to go in under my leadership. All of that might change, but you will get the new GenSec coming in would get a very thick file as to what would have transpired under the previous GenSec stewardship. So he's up to date as to what came in, what is expected to come in, and what is presently there. So he could speak like Mr. Speed in terms of exact figures.
Sir Carlton, finish up your point, Big Boss, because you know me have a time up on the stream, and you call in late in the Carlton. Where you did that? I read I get your information.
Champs, watch, man.
Oh, you know what, Champs? Oh, okay, Champs. Okay, all right then. Yeah, man. So yeah, but we're gonna chop it up on the next stream. The next stream we get everything. Cause here DL I'll give you a different thing here. DL same he said yes, JD, it's more than 280,000. It's actually 300.
$312,500
a year.
Right.
No, but that makes sense because me I try to make sense of the thing because my boy said every 3 months, but he said it's 312,500 a year. But that would have been way less than 280,000. So, Carlton, let me chop it up back next time because no, it garnered some wrong figures now because Bossy attempts say 312,500 a year. But that is less than 280,000 every 3 months because of $1.8 million. That you understand me? So we will chop it up, Carlton. Okay, maybe he makes a mistake. Okay. Yeah. So we will link you back here, Big Boss.
JD, Dale did not make a mistake. Dale gave you the quarterly installment for the $5 million, which is $1.25 million per quarter. It's the same $5 million that Dale just broke down. That's the exact breakdown for the $5 million.
Okay, but Pastor, the man said, though a year. That's what he said in his statement. So,
Yeah.
but me see make a correction here. He made a correction here. So, Pastor, so hold on, brother. You know, if you go on, so, bro, if me only can read what the man actually say, no. Me can't do nothing else, you know. Me no know. The man said don't hear. So why me I gotta take it say a quarterly? He never said quarterly in that statement. And you just always be extra. And I am being precise. And you are telling me that I'm wrong even when read the statement again with the man just say, Pastor.
All right, JD. When you go figures, the other side of no, hold on, JD.
We're not going to semantics with your pastor. Just read
it's not semantics. It's not semantics. The figures.
Pastor, I'm asking. Read the damn thing where the man just said. Make I put it up on the screen. I'm in enough of what? Why him say yes, sir? Why him say Pastor after I read this? What him say after? What does it mean?
All right, JD. Okay, JD.
JD,
I am not warring with you. I am answering you. JD, I'm answering you.
Pastor, answer question.
JD, I am answering you. The statement that you post on the screen is telling two different stories. One, he's saying, no, JD, listen. One, he's saying that is a yearly figure. But because I have already had the calculation worked out in my mind, the quarterly installments. JD, listen, JD, you are viewing under the English of it, and I'm telling JD, hold on, no man. No make we fight over this. JD, don't make we fight over this.
Pastor,
the statement that he made.
Pastor, that's quite for 1 second. No? I knew what you were saying, but I am just saying the reason why I said it is because he said it here. So I'm just saying this doesn't make no sense because this is less. But I understood what you were going to come with, but he never said that. So I'm now going to give him.
Okay. So we're on the same page. Okay. So we're on the same page.
Of course.
Correct. Yes. Okay. Yes.
Yo, the man love war, you know.
There are a few things in life for which I get agitated, JD. While I do not have a degree in accounting or financial management, when you write figures or when you articulate figures, my antennas go off. I told you before that I was trained in financial management by a woman that did not go grade 5. No, because the figure that he posted is the actual quarterly installment. I read his incorrect statement, but I also read the statement that the money was making. So that is what I read. I literally used the statement that the money was making rather than the incorrect English statement, because that's the quarterly installment and not the yearly installment. So we're on the same page.
Yes, I know you were on the same page from day one, but I just wanted to see what the guy said here, and I looked and
yes.
Man, love war, you know, people be make sure smash the like button. We have a little time to go. Share and subscribe. Drew Video said, JD, the most concerning thing Speed just revealed is the JFF's approach to hiring. They do head hunting only, no public jobs posting. That's very bad. All right. So what would you say on that? And personals inside the chat, what would you say about that? In terms of the way they go about hiring people. Pastor, it's on the screen. What say you?
JD, I made a statement, I think 2 days ago. The congregation, and I'm speaking now within ministry, does not grow spiritually higher than its leader. Everybody that is hired by the JFF, if you evaluate their system of employment, is a stopgap. Everybody is a stopgap. Mr. Chung was hired to replace Mr. Wint. And because of Mr. Chung's experience and exposure, they just think that, okay, he is supposed to bring them further than Wint was carrying them. And that is why they totally miss this that you have suggested and put forward in terms of a avenue that can earn them money quickly with very limited physical resources being extended. So rather than looking to where you can expand equitably, you're just filling in the space. This is like when we have elections in the church, which is around October every year for officers. If you attempt in your congregation, despite what the demographic of your congregation is, to just put in officers on the officers list for every department, you will find that in most cases you have not served the church in the best possible way, because you're just stopping a gap. But if you look at where your church has its greatest need in terms of the office positions that become available, whether on a 2-year or a yearly cycle, and you look for the best possible candidate that can advance the church in the area of its greatest strength, it equates to greater benefits every single time. And you miss less. You may not actually fill all the positions on the officers list, but your church will grow exponentially and do very well and do that much better within the community that it is established, in spite you not stopping the gap of having a person in every department. Because I have pastored several churches where I don't complete the officers list, but my church is grown numerically. We do well in terms of remittance and all of that, and we have very good quality of life, and we don't fill all the officers list. The JFF is just doing a stopgap thing. And as is in the chat, it is very bad. Yes, it is very bad. Very, very bad.
Richard Green says, Carla, we are talking about the 5 million. Is that's without pre-contracts? Yes, but I think Carlton always look for the money there. You know? Carlton around 4 or 5 months. Carlton talk about that money. So I'm gonna try and figure out Carlton money that he was actually talking about. All right. He has to do his due diligence. Yes, 100%. I have to keep my remote on, Pastor. Oh, Pastor Defio. All right. Omzo, when have you came into this channel and say something good at the end? Why you can't just come in and say, hi JD, how are you doing? Oh, life. Oh, Belgium treated you. You know, why you have to just be a prick 95% of the times? All right. It's the Gen 6 job to know the books. Carlton, in addition, Mr. Chung is an accountant by trade. So he should know the financial position of the JFF. Yes, but that's what I said to Carlton. But when you're talking to Carlton, you have to just make Carlton do him thing, you know, because Carlton just get the information, and I'm trying to explain to Carlton that we have the information printed out in the media as well. You get me? So we're just giving you the reasons for those money, what we talked about from before. You know, we never said the JFF get only $5 million. We knew that they got other money for the girls, and they got money for the girls. They couldn't get the money for the girl last because they had to qualify. They never got to take it. What if 80 had qualified directly in front of them, Pastor? Them couldn't just give Jamaica the 80 qualification money. You understand me? They have to qualify before they got that money. You understand me? So those,
and that is why the girls got 2 separate installments. Yes. Because they got one of the installment was for the qualification. So whichever team in Concacaf had qualified would have gotten that one.
That's what I'm trying to explain to Mr. Carlton. But Carlton just say, yo, him say, I'm more money. But the whole heap more money means a lot more different things. It's not just the same. Imaxit football passed that to home today, away from the sea creatures Jesus God. Imaxit football. I never knew over here sermon I keep. Yes, man, I pastor, man. I pass, I big bad pastor, you know. Yes, man. Yeah, so we're gonna finish the show right there. Let me see how it go. Guys, make sure we reach at least 150 likes on this video so we can get the visibility on it. We only had one 2 hours. You get me? And we try to stretch it to 2.5 hours. All right. So yeah, man. So when you smash the like button as soon as they come in, share and subscribe. We don't need to extend it out because it's meaningless to go unnecessary hours. You get me? Yeah. There is no competition for the jobs in the JFF admin. They failed to cast a wide net for candidates. Nepotism has taken hold, I reckon. Well, we're going to work on something, Pagan, and we're going to continue this conversation because I like where it's going because we're getting a lot more things and we're solving a lot more things. You get me? So that is always good because when I looked at it and I heard from a few personals, I started to look at 2 different things, you know. I've read your comment, CC, but I don't know why you think that I'm skipping a comment. I literally put up the man comment in the pastor and the man said, me I skip him comment, you know. Oh, that makes sense. I've just placed the man comment. I paid with my likes, you know, but I was CC, you're lying because we just put up a comment. I just read your comment, CC. So, Pastor, finish up your points, and then we can just slide out to the place like we never exist, you know? Yes.
JD, I just want to say that from the stream that Mr. Speed came on and made the statement that they're not going to be making any careers for any player, it sort of ushered in a new direction for the JFF. I am still critical of some measures that they have taken and did not taken because I think he would need to come out again and say they are not making any careers for any coaches. That would show a furtherance of a new direction. I believe that as harsh as a critic that we have ever been and will continue to be, when we criticize their lack of imagination and due diligence and transparency, we should be balanced. Equitable relations demands that when they do well,
Facts.
we should shout it the same volume that the JFF has gotten this right.
Facts.
And especially when the names that we have flogged are involved. So when Mr. Speed is due a little bit of credit, we should say, okay, call him name. See him like when we have flogged them and we call him name? Call him name when things are going the way they should go.
We gave him credit today for the transfer of both Jimenez and also Rochester. So we gave him
Yes. And what I'm saying is speaking to that. I want us to engender that those kind of credits are sheared out because they are deserved or earned, whichever term you want to use. If we are going to say we are for Jamaica and the betterment of Jamaica, things like this that you have come up with to point them in the direction that they must go. Because the reality is the Bible says there will not be another like Solomon. There was none before him, and there will be none like him after him. With that said, it means that the best of our managers are going to need help in dreaming and aspiring and refocusing on that which is necessary for our betterment. So you pointing this out and putting it on this illustrious platform, they need this kind of a help. So all of us should seek to see how we can assist the JFF to do better. It is not sufficient that we just take out the fire belt, in the words of Jamaican Guna, and will. No, it's not enough. That part is necessary because executive judgment is required when sin is perpetuated. So we need the fire belt. However,
Our casting, Pastor.
eh? No, I am the pastor. I have to call sin by its rightful name. In the words of Franklin and Albert Einstein, it is insanity to do the same thing the same way all the time, expecting a different result.
Okay,
It
bro.
is a sin what the JFF continues to do every time they continue in a wrong that they have been doing from in the early days. It's a sin.
Okay, one thing, people, you cannot tell Pastor to close the show, because Pastor have been solid 20 minutes or just finish it.
So I've said all of that to say this, JD, in closing the show, that today's program is exactly what is needed to lead the JFF in this modernized dispensation for Jamaica football to be elevated. Programs like these, inspirations like these. And now, after this has been done, we need people to hold the JFF. And now we're not going to call Mr. Speed name. We're going to call Mr. Chong because of him at the Gen Sec. Because if this does not get off the ground, if you think Mr. Speed did get flagging, try waste this opportunity.
All right, Mr. Pastor, thank you very much. Let me just go to Julie says, I love Pastor, love the football, though he should make a church league. All right, yeah, man. All right, no problem. King Solomon.
There are church leagues in Jamaica. There are church leagues in Jamaica.
All right. So, Eagle Republic, how you doing, man? I have a quick question for you. If Mexico wins the Concacaf Nations League and another country, says the USA, Jamaica, etc., wins the CONCACAF Gold Cup, who then becomes the champions of the CONCACAF? The champions of the CONCACAF kind of come off a little bit different. They do it over a longer period. All right. So, and they do factor in the CONCACAF League as well. So surprisingly, they do put the CONCACAF League in it as well. So obviously, you have the MLS, you have 80, DAMREP, Mexico, the Mexican leagues, you have Jamaican leagues as well. You have a lot of them. All right. So I don't know who becomes the CONCACAF Kings, but yeah, it's surely not Jamaica. If Jamaica win one of those cups, they are not CONCACAF dominant. Because remember, United States won the Gold Cup, and the Nations League, and the U20s, and the youth everything. You get me? So the only thing they lost was the major qualifiers. All right. So we cannot just jump up unless USA won the next one, like one more out of the next two, then we can say, all right, the USA might tip Mexico. But Jamaica can't win a trophy and tip Mexico. No, Jamaica can't win a trophy and tip Mexico or United States. These mans have been winning 1 billion trophies every single year. So we can't say Jamaica in nowhere shape and form as the CONCACAF Kings. It's not going to work. We have to start winning trophies regular, or going to finals regular, because these teams always there for 60 million years. So if we win it one time, that just means we turn up to the party, because Honduras, El Salvador, Costa Rica, Panama, those teams always try to make it hard for United States and Mexico. So we can't put, we don't know where draw Jamaica and United States and Mexico in the same batch. Jamaica in another batch, my brother. I'm very sorry. We are trying to figure out affairs how to get even remote chance to be in that batch. And consistency will lead to that time. Big up Jamaica and good, a massive respect. JD, where did you find this YouTube pastor? Pastor Virgin man, pastor the year always, and respect. We respect him and him respect we. So we just do a thing and just no 1 more hour, man. You see, we did 2 hours and something. That is not enough, man. We can't go longer than that, man. Man's have a nice wife, Pastor Vib's nice lady, and I have my nice wife, So why should I be on the internet 64 hours? Like me not have nothing to do. All right. So, people, thanks yet again for another great one. Micah, Richard Samuels, big up yourself. Thanks for being here. Massive respect. All right. Yeah, man. Peace out. See you in the next one.